How people are finding information today is changing rapidly. SEO is changing rapidly. Social media algorithms are changing rapidly. And of course, AI, as both a search tool and a content creation tool, is dictating many of these changes. But at the same time, many established media outlets and newer media outlets and content creators are flourishing. Why? Because they are destinations. People go to the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal or Mr. Beast's YouTube channel or Joe Rogan's podcast and others because of the content that they produce. Consumers of that content know what they are going to get. They want more of it, so they seek it out directly. They're not searching online for that content. So how do you and your law firm stand out with content in the coming years? Well, you strive to become the Joe Rogan or the Mr. Beast of your practice area. Your law firm strives to become the New York Times of its practice areas. In other words, you and your firm strive to be the destination for thought leadership, not a source. The destination, not a source for knowledge, wisdom, and insights that your clients could use regarding the work that you and your firm does. So how do you and your law firm pull this off? How do you become the destination for members of your target audience? I'm going to give you 7 high-level things to consider as you start building out your content program with the goal of becoming the destination. First, you're going to have to commit to the idea of thought leadership. The idea that the best way to make an impression on target audiences is to create content that is relevant, valuable, and compelling time and again consistently. Second, you need to commit to the idea of owning a niche, owning an industry. You're not just going to talk about everything that your law firm does. You're going to pick various niches, various industries that you see an opportunity in where there might be some competition from law firms, but no one actually owns that niche in terms of regularly producing thought leadership, regularly producing content about the niche, about what's happening in the industry, not just legal issues, but economic issues, socio-political issues, geopolitical issues, you name it. But finding a niche or owning an industry is key to becoming the destination for members of your target audience. Third, I referenced this before, consistent creation. You and your colleagues will be consistently creating content, not monthly, not every 2 weeks, but at least weekly. And quite frankly, you should be producing content multiple times a week in different forms, which brings me to number 4. You have to take an on-the-channel approach if you want to become the destination for members of your target audience. What I mean by that, not just articles, not just blog posts, but consider podcasts, videos, social media posts, email newsletters, and various mixing and matching of that content and repurposing of that content so people who like videos can still get your content versus people who like to read an article or who want to listen to a podcast. Fifth, consider the spectrum of content. Everything doesn't need to be a 2,000-word article or an 800-word blog post. Sometimes you could have a quick 300-word update about an item in the news that's of relevance to people who are following an industry. On the other end of that spectrum, you're going to want to consider proprietary research and other tentpole flagship type content that no one else can create because no one is putting in the time and the money to create it. Sixth, you're going to have to staff your content creation appropriately if you want to become the destination. It can't just fall on your attorneys to be producing this content. You should be looking at a content manager who can see everything from a top level view. You're going to want to have at least a writer. You're going to want to have at least an editor who can do video editing, podcast editing. That way you have professionals in-house. You might need multiple writers, multiple editors, but when you become the destination for your target audiences regarding the work that you do as a lawyer and as a law firm, you can't just rest on one attorney doing the work. One attorney doesn't make up an entire practice group, nor should one attorney be expected to drive the content creation for an entire practice group. Finally, seventh, you're going to want feedback from your clients, referral sources, and other people consuming your content. You want to have a regular dialogue with these people. Understand what do they like, what don't they like, what do they want more of, what could they do without. Are all the forms and formats that you're producing, are they adequate? Are there new ones that your key consumers, your key clients and referral sources might want you to start getting into? Feedback is important. It helps you create the kind of content consistently that is actually going to draw in eyeballs, viewers, and listeners, and hopefully help build the practice group. Despite all the craziness that's going on today with content creation and content discovery, the stalwarts are doing just fine, if not flourishing. The New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Mr. Beast, Joe Rogan, they're doing fantastic because they are destinations for their audiences. You and your law firm could become the destinations for your target audiences regarding the work you do and insights, knowledge, and wisdom regarding that work. That is how you survive and thrive in this ever-changing world of content creation and content discovery. If you're interested in learning how to create the kind of thought leadership content that helps you become the destination for your audiences, check out lawfirmeditorialservice.com. We have more than 400 videos, blog posts, and podcast episodes that can help you do just that.